All right, excited to play a good opponent this week. I've known Coach Martin for over 20 years. He actually helped us out when I was at St. Francis a long time ago. He was at Grand Valley. We brought our staff up there for a couple days, spent some time with them. They're one of the best coach teams, most sound, disciplined teams in the country. Obviously, they were in the championship game last year. They're fighting to get in there this year. They really don't have many weaknesses offensively. I know they lost their quarterback, but the guys have stepped in and done a nice job for them. They got two really big physical running backs, good receivers, good on the offensive line, and then defensively they have good players at every level. Their D line's really active, physical. They got length in the secondary, so it'd be a good opportunity for us to go on the road, play a good opponent.
What's it like within the program knowing, this is the final game of the season?
We treat every week 1 week at a time, like I've been saying all year, but it is something I talked about with the team. This is our last game together as a group, and seniors leave, and with the portal and everything that goes into college football, these guys have put a lot of work in from the time we got here in December to off-season workouts, to spring ball. They've done everything we've asked of them. The seniors have been great, and we really want to get a win as the last time together as a group. So it's something we did talk about, and something I'll bring up throughout the week. It's our last chance to go play a game together.
Yeah, going on the road again, obviously the struggles have been kind of well documented at this point. What kind of is the mentality going into that last
It's the exact same. We got to go find a way to play better on the road and get a fast start. I talked about that last week. Didn't happen. Had a punt blocked, obviously, and that they got up on us. We need to do that. I'm actually glad the last game's on the road. Gives us one more opportunity to go try to play better there.
How have you seen guys kind of react to the game film of the Toledo game so far?
Well, obviously, a lot of things that we could have done better, and we're also playing a really good football team. You know what I mean? So there's some things that we did execute properly, and they beat us physically, which is going to happen from time to time in football. But we cannot beat ourselves, and that's what we did in several of the cases. And usually when you don't play well, that's what happens. It's mistakes and assignments, discipline. I always could call better plays. That's something I say every week whenever we don't score enough points. It starts with me. But, we got it in, watched it on Sunday, and started in Miami.
You talked about quicker starts. I guess, what do you think Ball State really has to do to get that offensive quick start?
Well, we got to execute, and we got to get ahead of the sticks. You saw Saturday against Toledo when we're behind the sticks. We've struggled in protection and really all phases of the pass game at this point. So for us to get what we want offensively, we need to be positive on first and second down. And obviously third down gets a lot of attention, but when it's 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9, you're not going to get a lot of those.
As far as the defense goes, the defense has continued forcing turnovers all season. I think it's five, 6 straight games with an interception force. So what have you liked that you've seen from that?
That's been encouraging because earlier in the year, we weren't getting turnovers. But once we've got in a MAC play, we've started to generate them, and those things should be difference makers. They should lead to scores on offense, and that's something we coach and preach a lot defensively is getting turnovers. And to be able to do that, like you said, the last few weeks has been good, and we need to get some more of that on Saturday.
What do you see in Miami's defense?
They line up and play football. They line up with one high safety. They don't care. They played every team the exact same way the entire year, and I've watched most of the games from last year as well. They're the exact same. They'll bring pressures, but they're going to play man, and they're going to play cover 3, and they're going to out-discipline you, and they're going to have an extra guy in the box for the run game and make you throw the football. I just watched the big run cut up, and they had 14 runs of the games that we've broken down over 10 yards, which is not a lot throughout the course of a football season, obviously. So they're really good at stopping the run. They get you into 3rd and long situations.
You mentioned the seniors earlier. How have they kind of handled knowing that this is their final college football game?
I haven't talked to them much about it other than on Sunday, so I'm sure throughout the course of the week I'll have some conversations with those guys about that. But there's no doubt it's going to be on their mind. A lot of them, it's the last time they'll ever play. Some of them will try to play in the NFL. Some of them might make it. Some of them might not get an opportunity to put a helmet on again. So you want them to have a great memory in their last game, and you want them to be able to, maybe reminisce a little bit on some of the things, but it's very similar to senior day. Once we kick the ball off, we have to go play football.
If they came to you and talked about that, would that be the advice to kind of?
Yeah, I would tell them, man, you need to not run from any emotions or feelings that you have. Some of them have put 5 years in here, and they put a lot of work in, man. And I want them to think back of all the good things and things they've overcome since they've been here. And you don't want to run away from that, but when you're on the practice field, you got to focus on practice. When you're in meetings, you got to focus in on what we're talking about in the meeting room. And then when we do kick the ball off, you got to be able to put all that stuff aside and go play. You know, as a coach, I always tell this to our coaching staff. It's not that senior day isn't a big deal for us, but we go through senior day every year. You know, for the seniors, it is their senior day or it is their last game. So it's something that you have to talk to them about and mention because you want them to be able to handle it the right way. You know, as a coach, I've had 25 senior days. I hope I get 25 more. And it's always sad for me when the seniors leave, whether I've been with them for 1 year or 5 years. Like, I'm going to miss these seniors when they're done. But the best way they can enjoy their last game is to go play well and get a win.
Yeah, I was going to ask, I mean, obviously with the Thanksgiving holiday this week, do you have any Thanksgiving plans, and then how are the team going to handle it?
Well, we got to practice for the game, obviously. So the only change to our schedule is the guys don't have school Thursday and Friday. Wednesday, I don't believe either have school. So we'll start practice a little bit later on Wednesday. And then Wednesday night, we'll have a Thanksgiving dinner as a team over in the Alumni Center with all of the players and the coaches and their wives and kids and all that, just to get everybody together for a meal. And then Thursday morning, we'll practice earlier than we normally do so the local guys can go home for Thanksgiving and bring a teammate with them and get to spend some time with their families. And then we'll be back in Friday morning and do our Friday schedule for the road. So it doesn't change the coach's schedule really that much, but we try to work around, get all the same work that we would normally get done, but give the players the opportunity to go home. We have a lot of local guys on the roster, and I want them to be with their families on Thanksgiving when they can.
Gotcha. You going to break the smoker out at all first?
No, not enough time to do that. Off season. We'll do that in July
Gotcha.
once recruiting's done.